Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me hope you're doing fine. So inshallah, this is our continuation from where we stopped. We stopped from letters like fa, we stopped from letters like Qaaf, wow. So what we stopped on wow, but you know there are letters that have the head, like for wow, the head of wow is like this. Head of wow, but even fa has the same, Qaaf has the same. That's why Qaaf and fa were involved in the previous dars, but today we are seeing fa'u and Qaaf as letters. We are not just explaining what we saw last time, just here we are seeing majorly two letters, fa'u and Qaaf. And the most important note, when we are doing Diwani, fa'u is written like a shape of a bean seed. A shape of a bean seed. That's how fa is. How? So we'll bring the head of fa. Remember, it has no space inside. It has no space inside like fa for naskhi. It's written like this. It has a space inside, just like this. And wow for thuluthi, it also has a gap inside. You see, so the difference is there from this one. This one has no gap inside. So then we bring the shape. Then it starts from here, it slopes, then curves back, and then the tail. So this is how fa is written, and it's always in the shape of a bean seed. This is how fa is written. That's how fa is written. Previously we saw letters like Qaaf. It's also, its head starts like, it has no space. Then here it goes like this and comes back, then the two dots of Qaaf. This is fa, this is Qaaf. Sometimes Qaaf can still go up with the long tail, then the dots come on top here. So it will just be like this. Either the dots are here on the same, on this level, or they can go ahead and be on top. So one of the two, they are all Qaafs. I've said fa'u is written in the shape of what? The shape of a maize, of a bean seed, the shape of the bean seed. So inshallah, from there we are going to see some of the examples of how fa is written. And another thing before we go ahead, if this is the line at the bottom, the last bottom, because you know fa has many lines where the first stroke sits and then the one at the bottom. Okay, so you see the space between the head and where the bottom sits on the line, so the gap is a little bit bigger here. And this is how fa is written when it's standing alone or at the beginning of the word. For instance, we are writing the name Fatima. So if you are to write Fatima, we remember the principle of not leaving the gap in fa. We'll just write like this. Then we bring this and alif. Remember, alif is bending to the left. It will not come here like this, straight on the straight line. No, because this one is also bending the same way. So Fatima will be written like this. Remember, this has no gap inside when it's at the beginning of the word. So this is when it's at the beginning of the word. When it's in the middle of the word, then here there is a difference. Even Qaaf is also written the same way. Then you put the other two dots. Okay, the two dots of Diwani are always dashed. It's just a dash like this, a small dash. So if we divide the dash, we have 2 dots. If it's in the middle of the word, it's written like this. Then it continues. There is a certain curve here where this part joins the fa or the qaf. This is the fa or the qaf. I repeat. The more you practice, the more your hands become settled while writing or while doing calligraphy. So calligraphy, what matters most in calligraphy is all about practicing every time and again so that your hands can get used to carving strokes. This is when fa or qaf is in the middle of the word. Then let's see when it's at the end of the word. Even qaf is the same. When it's at the end of the word, for instance, you're ending it, this is fa, it will still also have the word, and we go back to the basic of shaping it like a bean seed with its tail coming back. This is how it's written at the end of the word. But remember, this is fa. But if we are writing qaf, qaf will not have this gap. We'll just write like this. We go back to the basic of not giving it the what? The space inside, then we just curve it. This is when qaf is at the end of the word. So we are seeing some of the examples with fa in the middle and fa at the end. For instance, we are writing the word afaf, writing ain, then we bring our fa in the middle. This is fa. Then we bring our fa at the end. And by standing alone, so it will just come like this. As simple as that. But the more you practice, the more you perfect the movement of the pen or the qalam or the pencil. But the most important thing is called the qalam. Either it's a pen or a pencil or a marker, it's just qalam. For instance, shin, then our fa, those are 3 dots. Then we bring our fa, the head of fa that has no space inside, then just like that. Okay, some of the other examples, we're writing bar, qu, this is wow, then qaf, so that's how it's written, bar qu. So this is ba, this is ra, this is qaf. Remember, it's at the beginning of the word, it has no space inside. This is wow with the same principle of the head, and this is qaf at the end, which is different from fa'u when it's joined at the end. But when it's standing alone, that's where the difference is. When it's standing alone, it goes back to the principle when it's written alone. So that's how it's written, and these are some of the examples, and inshallah we will start from there in the next lesson.